Do you own your dream? Or do you think you're going to like it? When it comes to going in day after day, waking up early, managing, taking care of every detail, you better own your dream. Because there's a lot of struggles on the way. The second question in this review, what's the second question? Anybody remember? Clarity question. What does that mean? If something is clear, what does that mean? Clarity question, what is that?
You are able to see it.
You really know what you're going for. Not maybe 100%, but you know the direction you're going. So when I was younger, I wanted to fly. I wanted to fly jets. I had that dream. But you know what? That I didn't know the reality of that question. I found out that I was too big to fit inside where the pilot would sit. I wasn't fat then, but I was too tall. Because when you're in a jet, you sit in one. When you're a pilot, you sit in one spot and you don't move for hours. And if you're too big, you get. But it wasn't my reality. I wasn't going to chop off my feet so I could fit in. There are things that are outside of our control. If I said my dream is to be a good mother, I've got a problem, don't I? The reality is I'm a man. So I'm going to have to be a good father. I don't care what surgery you have. There are things that aren't in your control. The reality question. Are you with me? Some of you may have the dream of being in the Olympics. But is that a reality? Not everybody has a body that can take the beating of being in the if you're in the Olympics, it'll beat you. You have to be able to suffer. What's the reality? Why can't you be president of the United States? You have to be naturally born in the U.S. Okay. It might be the same here. I don't think I probably could become president of Uganda. You have to be born in. That's the reality. Okay? It doesn't, you can claim something, but it's the reality. Question number 4. Now we're not going deep, okay? We're just getting us up. Question number 4 is the passion question. Does your dream compel or force you to follow it? If things don't work out, will you be okay? If it's a dream and you have passion, you won't let anything defeat you. Unless something comes out of the reality. Remember, all of these work together. If your dream doesn't wake you up in the morning, if it doesn't put your feet on the ground, if it doesn't get you working so you can do the dream, you're going to have a problem. Because you have to have the passion. When I first started coming to Uganda, I had worked in a supermarket. I worked in one like something like Game. It was like Game. It had everything. Everything. So, but my dream was Uganda. But in the early days, I didn't have people donating money. I didn't have anything. And so I worked doing something I didn't like that much. So I could follow my dream. Because I had passion for my dream. Money was not going to defeat me. If I had to work doing anything, and I would work until I could save up for my airplane ticket, and I'd come back again. Passion. Do you really have passion? That's the question. Does anything get in your way from your dreams? Lazy people never see their dream come true. Unless they adjust their dream to fit them. But we're talking about God dreams, right? We're talking about something that God's put on your heart. Number 5. I'm sure we've done, I think we did this one too. It's the pathway question. What's the difference between a plan and a strategy? I could say, hey, I'm planning to see you next week, right? But if I don't make the arrangements, it's just a plan. It's easy to get sidetracked. Any little thing, one of the things, as the president of Prepare the Way, when we sit down as a board and we brainstorm, people come up with, hey, we should do this. No, let's do that. And we have these ideas. And then I say, okay, who's going to do it? Right? Go ahead and do that. I say, okay, you had a plan, you had an idea. Now, what are you going to do first? You see what I'm saying? In other words, we want to take it from an idea or a plan. The dream can't just be an idea. If you don't have a strategy, you'll always be sidetracked. Do you have a strategy to get to your dream? And I remember we talked about that. Some of you, we talked about what are you doing? What steps are you taking? Right? We talked about that. Number 6. The people question. If you have no friends, if you have no colleagues, if there's no one that you can that you have connections with, not just casual acquaintance, you're not going to reach your dream unless your dream is a lonely dream. Unless your dream is so small, you can just do it alone. But if you don't have people, your dream is going to struggle. When I was in business, when I had my own business, I had an auto repair shop. If I didn't make connections, if I didn't have people, it wouldn't matter what I did if I don't have people that will bring their cars in. And I had to have business connections. I remember the first time I went into my bank, I said, I'm starting a business. I want to take a loan. I want to buy some equipment. And you know what they told me? You've got no experience. You've got no track record. You don't have anything. No. You know what? I didn't leave the bank. I said, I'm going to build a relationship. And I opened up a savings. And I did smaller projects. And one day, when I shifted, I went into a bigger building. I needed to buy the lift to lift the cars up. I was getting tired of laying on my back. Because when they said no, okay, I'll lay on my back and fix it. Because I have a passion. I went into the bank. I've been there for some years. I said I need to buy this equipment for the new place I'm moving. The same person. Do you know what they said? How much do you need? I need this much. I'm putting it in your account now. Come in later. Fill out the paperwork. Buy what you need. Because I built a relationship. But what if I had run to another bank? Oh, they didn't give me I'd have had the same problem, but I'd never built a relationship. Now, was the bank perfect? No. But I had relationships. And I was able to get what I needed. We need people. Do you think I could have a Bible school with no people? I did that for 1 year. Every class, every day, every time. Until we had raised up some teachers. Were you in my first class?
Yes.
First class. Now I've got people. Now that my dream is happening, I found someone that has a similar dream. And that's to be able to bring the gospel, bring training. We have to have people. If you're not good with people, it's like trying to run a school and the children and the parents hate you. It's going to be difficult. If you can't be a people person, if you're always fighting with someone, always struggling, always arguing, it's going to be hard to have a dream where you're in charge. It's going to be tough. Number 7. The cost question. In order to see your dream, if it's going to come true, are you willing to pay the price? Because every dream has a cost. Some of it's money. Some of it's time. Some of it's your sleep. It's always going to cost. People that succeed aren't people that just do what's easy. A successful person doesn't just do easy things. They struggle. They strive. They go against the average. You see, because dreams are personal. If you own your dream, it's personal. But if it's a personal dream, that means the sacrifices for your dream are also personal. Let me go back to the beginning of Prepare the Way Ministry. When I first started Prepare the Way Ministry, I went to the pastor of my church. And I said, the Lord's calling me to be a missionary. He said, good. I said, can the church support it? He said, no. First you support yourself. And if you can survive supporting yourself, then come back and ask me. Don't expect us to support you if you won't pay the price and support yourself first. Pay the price. At first I was kind of bitter, you know. I thought, this is my church. They should support me. Don't they know that I organize the chairs? Don't they know that I, sweep the floor sometimes? But that thing that my pastor did was the thing that helped me become strong. Because it made me pay the price. I get people, there's a lot of people that come to Prepare the Way Ministry. And they want me to pay the price for them. It's true. But if you won't pay the price, it happens. I say, well, what's your part? Oh, I can't do anything. I'm helpless. And yet they have their phone, they have their everything. If it's your dream and you own it, it's personal, which means you have to be the first one to pay the price. The sacrifices that must be made to achieve your dream are personal. Don't look for someone else to pay. Jesus sacrificed for you. That's your free one. But after that, what does Jesus say? Count the cost. Don't count the cost what someone else is going to pay. Do you ever laugh at the disciples? Jesus is out in the wilderness, right? They were going for a holiday. They were going up in them. They had plans. They had some money for food. But you know what? They didn't offer their own food, did they? They found a little boy, grabbed his lunch, and said, we have the lunch of a little boy. We don't have the money. Right? Here's the problem. Do you think they were blessed in that situation? After that, the feeding of the 5,000, guess what? They got in a boat, right? And they were facing the storm. Jesus came walking on the water. He was going to bypass them. And they were going, ghost! So Jesus had to stop his journey, get in the boat, and he said, you know what the problem is? You couldn't believe because of the hardness of your heart. Hardness of your heart. Read the story. I don't remember if it's in the 5,000 or the 7,000. But when he's on the lake, he said, you had a hard heart for the loaves and fish. Why? Because they wouldn't pay the price. They wanted the little boy to pay the price for them. And Jesus did it. But then they couldn't believe. And they called Jesus a ghost. And they were full of fear. And he had to say, peace. Fear not. because of the hardness of their heart. They didn't pay the price. Who Mark tells it? The original one. We became good friends. He said to me, hey, I'll help you start a petrol station. And you can pay for all your children. That guy made money. He's in Canada now. Kids are all university. He made money. And I said, okay, what's the cost? My dream is to help these people. What's the cost? What do I have to sell? Alcohol? Cigarettes? Magazines with the girls? Work Sundays? Not see my family? I could have paid for the dream, but the cost was too much. It was more, there are some things that are too much for your family. That's part of the reality question. I told you the story before how I worked in a hotel. And I did so good, they said, we're going to make you a manager. You're going to have a good job. And at that time, I was just looking at getting married. But in order to be the manager, I had to learn how to be a bartender. I had to know how to mix drinks, how to get people to drink more, so that you can make more money. I said, that's too big of a cost. The reality is, I couldn't be a manager. That's the reality. It didn't fit my heart. Too much for that dream. Too much for that dream. There are some things that I will not pay for. There are things that you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to deal with people that will criticize you. If you're going to have a real dream, there are people that are going to complain because you're succeeding and they didn't. I remember when I was in Salem, and I was going to start raising pigs. And this was the early days. And I was told, if your pigs do really good, the people in Salem will become jealous and they'll poison your pigs because you're doing something they couldn't do. Now we have a reputation, and I think people love us. People love us. But people will criticize you. But you have to be willing to pay the price of words. You can't be easily offended. Everyone who pursues a dream, there'll be someone to criticize. The other thing, when you have a dream, you're going to have to overcome your fear. You have to pay the price of being brave. You have to be brave. And you have to give up your fears. If you're thinking in the realm of fear, it's going to limit you. All right, let's go a little further. I think we're just about done. What's our time? Another price you're going to have to pay, there's a price called hard work. Your dream is going to be hard work. You can't just be there. You have to participate. You can't just care and say, oh, I care about my dream. You have to be part of it. You have to help. You have to work. If it's bigger than you might have to practice. You might have to practice a new skill. You might have to do more. You might have to do more than just forgive people. You might have to forget. You have to go from the dreamland to the workland. It's not just giving, it's also serving. It's easy to give a little, but are you willing to serve? And you can't just be happy with living. You have to be growing. Are you ready to grow? You can't say I'm too old, I'm too young. It's not what I like. You have to be willing to grow. The easy way is never the dream way. You do whatever it takes. Now, are you willing to pay?
Pastor Bill is the president of Prepare the Way Ministry, a charity organization in Uganda that has been raising orphans, giving them hope, as well as training ministers and pastors in the nation. To be part of this work, please contact us on www.preparethewayministries.com or call us on that number. Thank you. May God bless you.